Welcome to Rebrand. I'm Danny Wright, artist, community manager, and apparently the most British person alive. Mort wrote this script and he likes making me say British things like aluminium and care for a crumpet on a cricket widgie, governor. I don't know what that means either. We have a Patreon. It's Rebrand Pod. For a chimbly of a pence, a mere $5, you get ad-free content, video episodes, and you get to join our Discord, where you can suggest themes for episodes and ask Mort and Ashley questions like, when did Mort get so handsome? Enjoy this episode. It's with wonderful comic Danna Weddle. Follow me on Danny Lee Art on Instagram, won't you? Cheerio and bread pudding, you chopsy blag. Does Mort seriously think I speak like this? Bloody hell.
Hello, beloved consumers, and welcome to Rebrand. I'm Mort Burke.
And I'm Danna Weddle.
And this is a podcast. Did you know you're listening to a podcast right now? It's a comedy-themed podcast where we rebrand things. Really anything. The state of Wyoming, guns, Catholicism. We'll rebrand it all. And I'm here with my brilliant, hilarious comic co-host, Danna Weddle, because my beautiful wife, Ashley, is tragically out of town.
Tragically.
I shouldn't have said tragically, because that makes it sound like she passed. But she didn't.
She's alive. She's alive and well.
Yeah, she's in New York.
She's thriving. She's aliving and thriving, actually.
She's
in New York? That's amazing.
Yeah, she went there today for some press stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that cool?
What an honor, and I couldn't possibly even dream to fill her shoes, but thank you for having me. This is so fabulous.
Heck yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, you've been a guest. You did a wonderful episode, which was tremendous. And today, we're going to rebrand because we both, in fact, did a live stand-up show last night. We're going to rebrand live comedy or stand-up shows.
Live comedy and or stand-up shows.
And Danna, I wanted to have her
Cody
on
just
too.
Snuggled in so
and
hard.
Cody, oh, he just put his big, beautiful, stinky head on your lap.
Oh my goodness.
See, that's the thing. I feel like
He's a human in a dog.
He's a man's soul in a canine body. Our buddy John said he's the only dog he's ever seen that craves eye contact.
Oh my God. The way that he was longing for you when you went to the restroom.
Yes.
And the way he tilted his head to like check on you.
Yes. He weeps. He weeps when Ashley
was
Ryan
crying.
leaves the room.
Yeah, he was crying.
He goes, oh God.
My dad is in there.
He's also, what you don't see that's funny to us is that he's also real sarcastic. Like, he will be like, hi, buddy, and he'll give us the most fucking, like, sassy eye roll. You know? Like, we're the most boring. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are cringe.
Yeah, dude, because he's, like, a cool teen, and we're, like, his embarrassing parents.
He's so Gen Z. Is he Gen Z or is he Alpha? How old is he?
I don't know. We'd have to figure out in dog years because he's 4.5. So what's 4 times 28?
4 times 7. Yeah, so he's 20. He's Gen Z.
Dude, this is good. We should do a whole episode on dog generations. How like a 4-year-old dog thinks a 3-year-old dog can't understand what they're saying.
There's such a gap in their communication.
Yeah.
He's so eye rolly toward them.
They only want to sniff piss and they say skibbity toilet. Or whatever.
Those dogs.
So I did Danna's show last night at the Glendale Room in beautiful downtown Glendale, and you brilliantly curate shows. Like Danna also
that's nice
co-hosts along with me occasionally an open mic called 7 Minutes in Heaven on Fridays in LA.
Absolute bliss.
It's the best show in LA, and it's not even a show.
It's not even a show, but we do have audience members that just come and watch sometimes.
Absolutely.
There's a guy that lives in my building who's like, hey, I'm going to come to your show this Friday.
Yeah, they call it a show.
It's 1 p.m.
on a Friday in Los Angeles. And
they call it a show.
And anybody who is having like a crisis of confidence, I'm like, go there. Go there and remind yourself that love is real and like stand-ups can support each other and not be like...
And art exists.
Art trumps all.
Just alive and well in that room at that time.
Yeah, and it's just people trying new, interesting, fun shit, like talented comics. A lot of them who are kind of younger or like, maybe been doing it between like 3 and some 8 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you do such a beautiful job at like somehow really great, interesting, smart people who are unafraid to experiment and try new shit sort of come around you, I think.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really cool thing, especially for somebody who like, there's lots of mics I don't like.
Yeah.
So having a few steady ones that are like, not like the fucking last year of Vietnam where like
yeah that you have PTSD after you leave the room. Well, Jason, who is my co-host, Jason K, fabulous, amazing comedian and voice actor, he and I went to this really bad mic together like over 2 years ago, and we were writing partners at the Groundlings, and we had kind of come into stand-up sort of around the same time. So we had gone to mics together, and we went to this bad mic, and we walked out of there like, no, man, no, it can't be like this. It can't. We can do better. And we have so many friends collectively, like in clown and character and sketch and improv and like whatever, and do music, because he's a fabulous guitar player.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's make it a variety mic. And most of our shows are like 7-8 minute sets. So let's just do 7 minutes, call it 7 minutes. I mean, it happens so quickly and so easily. And then, I mean, I hesitate. So I'm always sort of wary of being like patting ourselves on the back too much, because then that's when the it all comes crashing down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Waiting for the other shoe.
So it's delicate, right? But there is a balance. And it's not that we haven't had our hard times too throughout the growth of this thing, which is almost 2 years old. It's about 1.5 years old, I guess, that we've been doing it. But it is like wonderful. It's such I look forward to it every week.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that you're an honorary co-host. I mean, you're there so much and co-hosting so often. You're part of the fam, and I love it.
It's cool because there are people that listen to this that sometimes ask us about how do you get into comedy, how do you get into writing, how do you get into, and as far as like stand-up goes, if you're interested in it, first of all, I think you need to find people that you like professionals, and study that shit, and then find a good open mic, which can be really hard. Like invariably when you first start, for some reason you always end up at the mic where 3 people are off parole. Like one dude, he escaped rehab to come do stand-up right now.
And you're terrified. You don't want to speak.
You're 22, you're shy. And you have this, like, you have a gag about how you're like, your mom's not that nice sometimes. And they're like on the worst.
Kill him.
Yeah, totally. They're on terrible cocaine and they're, and they're not all like that, but there are some that are like that.
There are some that are like that. And actually when I started stand-up, I dabbled in it like back in 2017, 18. I went to those mics, and that I stopped because I was like, I can't keep going to this taco shop on Hollywood Boulevard with like a guy with an amp and like everyone's looking at their phones and it's all men and where are the women, you know? And it scared me off because I was like, absolutely, I don't want to keep doing this.
Which is so terrible because like any other ecosystem, if stand-up comedy doesn't have diversity, it's going to die. Like you absolutely need the other voices.
There's checks and balances.
Of course.
Yes, because there are mics that I've hosted at other places where the men, I'll be the only woman even though I'm the host. And they'll be like, okay, great, there are no women in the room. And then they just go off the rail. And I'm like, hi, I'm here. I'm still here.
So I can talk about assault, right? You're like, no. We had a friend of ours was at a mic the other day, and it's like we were talking afterwards, and to me it wasn't like a terrible mic, and she wasn't saying it was terrible either, but she was the only woman in the room, and the dynamic shifts in a way that a lot of men cannot understand.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I have an older sister, maybe that's part of it. I don't know what the deal is, but I am really, really conscious of that. So, like, as a person who cares about comedy and is like, we need to keep the diversity, if you're listening to this, and I think it also depends on, like, what town you're in. Because, I hear Denver's amazing. Like, certain places I think you can go and will have a really supportive. But if you don't have that, you can start it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the point.
The weirdos. The weirdos are better at this shit.
Find your people. Find the people who speak the same language you do, have the same kinds of sensibilities. And, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but like just a personality vibe. Like, these are great people. These are people I want to be around. They make me happy.
Yep. Totally. And there's somebody who's going, if you're willing to put the time in to develop your ability, there's going to be people that absolutely need to hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm, that is the little, like, what are those paper chain links that you make in like kindergarten or whatever?
Paper chain.
Yeah, exactly. What are they called?
Paper chain.
What are those chains made out of paper called? Right? So it's like you're doing everyone a beautiful service if you like have the courage to go like say your unique shit.
Yeah.
If you have an interest in it.
Right. If it's something you want to do. But if you are drawn to it, there's nothing more frustrating than trying to find that community or niche or like people that you get each other.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I was at the show the other night, and it was at a club, and I got on stage, and it was sort of I was last, and it was like late. It was Saturday, the 10 o'clock show, so it was like, and the crowd they were cool, but they were like, you could just tell. Somebody went up first, and it's a friend of mine, and she has this really beautiful kind of deadpan, which is like my favorite. I call it kind of like Gen X style, like Janine Garofalo, even though she's much younger than that, you know. And they kind of didn't trust her maybe because she wasn't like alpha style, like kind of yelling at them. She totally got them. But in my opinion, like that crowd was wrong. Like they didn't have enough of an understanding of the subtlety around this shit. And she's like a fucking pro. So she handled it great, you know? And then I went on stage and was like, the thing about me that I've learned from, you know, and knock on wood, whatever, but I do generally have this ability to, from bar shows and terrible mics, to be like, I'm speaking louder now, so you have to fucking pay attention to me.
And to wake them up a little bit.
Totally.
Engage them.
Yep. And this crowd, they're like subs. They needed to be dominated a little. Like they like it. Like I came out and I was like, this is kind of interesting. I was like, okay, you guys over here, you like politics, you guys like horny stories from Boston, and you guys haven't laughed at all. And there was and this table of 3 people, and everyone else laughed, and then the 3 people left during my set.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like, good.
Okay, this is not the place for you.
Yeah. Also, you
didn't want to be here.
They, in their defense, they'd sat through 2 hours.
They're like, we're done.
I had good comics too, but it was like, it's just a fascinating.
It's interesting having to adapt to the room. I mean, that's you never know. I think that is lately what's been giving me the most anxiety, because like when you shoot out of the cannon, you're like, hell yeah, I'm doing comedy and getting laughs, this is so great, and you're on such a high. Then you start going out of town maybe, or different places, and you're like, oh, audiences are so vastly different from place to place. And then it's like you get really in tune with what's going on with the room, and who's laughing and who's not, and then I switch my energy. Sometimes I feel like you do have to be super dominant. Like I get a little like punchy with my like screaming my punchlines a little bit, because it's like, this is where you laugh. You know? And they're kind of like, okay, or and we've talked about this before, like the dynamic.
Where the laugh is, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. And we will laugh, and they're just, oh, that's hilarious, you know, whatever. But sometimes I get really intimate, like very like close, and like very like quiet talking with them, and like pull them in and then slap them across the face.
That's good.
With a punch.
Lull them into a sense of security.
Yeah, exactly.
Frighten them
and then
the
totally frighten. And then they're just scared of me. But no, it's fun, I think, to do that dance though, and I think that's when it goes beyond like the material that you've written. It's the delivery, the picking up on the vibe of the room.
Totally. That's Pete Holmes apparently says to himself, it's not about the words, like a bunch of times before he goes on stage, which is fascinating for me, because I think a lot about the words. I think I tend to think in language specifically, but it's not. It's like any other thing where people really want to feel that you're there with them. And there's a bunch of stuff that can take you out of that, primarily just sort of being in your head, usually thinking about what joke you're about to do. You know, I see it all the time where it's like, if I look at my phone, it can just destroy my momentum. And sometimes that's cool.
Absolutely.
If you're like working through shit and it's important for you to get up there and do that stuff, like you do it anyway, and the mic suffers a little bit or whatever, but
it's part of it. But I do try to like, you know, stay off book or off phone or whatever, just to give myself the gift of like the danger of the performance, even at a mic. Because if I am glued to my notes, I'm not performing it. And I think my delivery, or like my comedy, comes out of my performance mostly. I mean, yes, I have written some jokes, but the up and down of my performance, and that sort of like surfing the wave or whatever, like it's such a important element for me as a performer. So like I want to give myself that gift at a mic, and allow that, and not be, you know, so tied to it.
It's interesting to me too, because I got into stand-up when I was really young because of albums, hearing specials, you know, like, and that is a very different thing and process than the day-to-day doing shit in and out in LA or all over California or in Tulsa or wherever you're going.
Yeah.
They're related for sure, but it's just, it's a very different process from being, okay, yes, I want to have like the perfect jokes to get onto the special or to get onto late night or whatever that is. And it's just fascinating seeing how different comedians deal with that reality differently. Like, some people are really, really good at riffing in from the crowd shit into their jokes, back into the crowd shit. Other people just go on stage and, like, Mitch Hedberg style, like, these are the one-liner jokes. They're brilliant. This is all we're doing tonight.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to say. It's not going to change.
You know what I mean? That's why I would love to see, like, Stephen Wright in, like, a fucking bad club room or something. He's a brilliant professional. I'm sure he can handle that, but how does he, like, step out of that weird character?
Yeah.
You know?
What happens?
Yeah. When is he going to make, like, surreal, like, crowd roasts or something?
Yeah.
Your head is a horse. Or whatever.
How do you do that? Yeah. Who did you like to listen to when you listened to, like, albums back in the day? What were some of your favorites?
I loved Gen X stuff, so I loved, like, Janine Garofalo. And my brother got me the David Cross double album, Shut Up You Fucking Baby.
Oh, wow.
Teenagers. And
amazing.
I had that thing. It was all I listened to.
Memorized.
For years.
Sure.
Completely memorized. I had to stop listening to it because I started to sound like him too much.
Yeah. Well, you do. You start to imitate, like, your favorites. Totally. Absolutely.
Yep.
I had this, when I was in high school, I had a 65 Mustang. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Which we discussed. What color?
Red.
So sick.
Yep. And it had, it was incredible. Yeah, I loved it. It smelled like gas so bad.
Yeah.
I just had this lingering odor of exhaust anywhere I went. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a fucking old car bomb.
It was
like,
yeah, light it on fire. It's going to blow up. Absolutely.
It's highly flammable.
Great to give a 16-year-old to drive around town. Yeah. Oh my God. But it did have this CD player that someone had, like, you know, installed obviously later. Yeah. But it almost just, like, sat in it wasn't even quite connected. Dash. Yeah, it just kind of sat in this hole in the dash. And someone did actually end up stealing it later on because it was, I mean, yeah, you just literally just take it out. But I had this CD of Margaret Cho. And she, there was this one track where she starts talking about being a bisexual, and the track starts with, I'll eat pussy, but it would skip and it would get stuck. And so driving around, it would just, I'll eat pussy, I'll eat and it would just repeat that. I have such clear memories of just crying laughing.
You were a total American badass. You know what I mean? That's your drive. I'm like picturing you blasting it. There's like wafts of smoke and fuel coming out of the back of your car, and it's like so loud that people are covering their ears. I'll eat pussy.
But you know what else was true about me at that time? That I loved praise and worship music also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it was like Jars of Clay and like whatever girl bit, like Point of Grace. I mean, this is just like way too Christian.
I've never heard of Point of Grace, but we should start a Point of Grace cover band.
There was this girl group called Point of Grace. There were 4 women, and they were from my hometown in Norman, Oklahoma. They went to high school where I went to high school.
Local heroes. And then they like blew up while I was in high school. So of course I like sang all their music in church. And later on, when I moved to Chicago, I worked at Bloomingdale's. I worked in the gift wrap section of Bloomingdale's. Okay.
And one evening, Point of Grace came to get their Christmas gifts wrapped by me.
Are you saying the entire band walked in?
3 of them.
Whoa. They just hang out
3
together.
of the 4. Well, they were on tour. They came in and I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
Yep.
Are you guys Point of Grace? And they were like, what? No one has ever recognized us. Like, that's not like at our concerts. And I don't know if this will even ring a bell, but they were on tour with Michael W. Smith. He's the Our God is an Awesome.
Wait, there's a guy that wrote that song?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Michael W. Smith was like...
I thought that was like a historic hymn that was like...
Oh no, he was like the king of praise and worship in the 90s. Like, and they were on tour together. And anyway, all of our minds were blown because they couldn't believe I recognized them and I couldn't believe they were there.
That's so wild. I like the idea that you didn't believe in Jesus. You were just really into their band. You're like, I hate it, by the way. I just love the music.
Yeah, I just love the music. No, that guy is like, I don't know. He's hot or whatever, but not so much.
Yeah, well, he's smoking hot. Beautiful eyes.
No, I really wasn't. I was into all of it. And I was the American badass, but also such a
that's
church
part
girl.
Of it. You know what I mean? You got to be like, and also like struggling with your faith too. That's a very, Johnny Cash was all about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's so much truth to spirituality, right? But then like the story of it all, you're like, did that really happen? Mm-hmm. Like, did that guy? I have this joke about Jesus losing all credibility, like if he had glasses. Because if he had glasses, then you're like, what? Okay, I have a voice memo on my phone. I don't have to play it now, but this joke came fully formed to me in the middle of the night. I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I made a voice memo.
Yeah, sick.
That was like, if Jesus had glasses, he would lose all credibility. Because I like guys with glasses, but if you're talking about Jesus, like, you mean like you couldn't give yourself LASIK?
Yeah.
You had to wear you have to wear corrective lenses. You couldn't then you can't turn water into wine.
There's no way.
There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, you can do my taxes, you fucking super nerd. Well, it's like Clark Kent. All they gotta do is put glasses on him. You know what I mean? And they're like, there's no way this guy has powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an 80s nerd. That's a good joke.
Yeah. I sometimes will play it because I can't redo I'm like yawning in the middle of it.
Oh, I've seen you do that.
You've seen me do that.
Yeah, you bring, the jokes delivered to you by the
It's like 45 seconds. It's perfect. It's like John Lennon on one of the songs he said came to him on a flaming pie in his dream.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He said something about, God, was it John Lennon? Or maybe it was
Paul.
Paul.
Yesterday was scrambled eggs. The lyrics were scrambled eggs.
That was Paul.
Yeah.
I think Paul also said that his mom came to him in a dream, and that's how he wrote "Let It Be."
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking. But John said something about a flaming pie.
I remember
somewhere.
I remember Conan making a joke, being like, "Yeah, I wake up in the middle of the night and scribble down gibberish," and then Richter was like, "And we do it anyway. We just just do it like it's a sketch or whatever."
Yeah.
Sort of making fun of the show. Yeah, that's really cool. It happens to me a lot of times. I listen to podcasts a lot. So I don't give, except for when I'm meditating, I don't give myself a bunch of like roaming time in my mind.
Sure.
So right before I go to sleep, if I have like a lot of ideas come up and I have to text them to myself or I cannot sleep.
Absolutely. I do the same, or I'll do my notes app or a voice memo. But I speaking of spirituality, like I think that's when like the spiritual part of comedy comes in. Because I do feel like that's like a divine...
Yes.
Like receiving of like just downloading of whatever information.
And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and my one thing that I think people misunderstand about spirituality is that in a way it's a discussion of things we can't see, which so many things in our life that affect us so deeply, like our emotional state and our thought life, are things that we cannot see, and we don't in the West have like a language to speak about them.
Yeah, and we're trying to desperately name them.
Yeah, so we completely lose ourselves in like the external world, and we have it's the opposite of like know thyself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know yourself. That's like in Islam and Black Islam and Christianity, all that shit. They're like, just pay attention amongst all of them. They're like, just pay attention to your insides, and all of America's like, no.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see The Rock instead.
There's so much distraction, so much chaos and noise.
Totally. And like you're saying, I think that anything that I come up with that's legitimately funny is like faster than my intellect. It's not like
absolutely.
I never get very far by thinking like, okay, what is funny? I just have to sort of allow it to present itself.
And what the most frustrating thing as a comic is that you're like waiting for that to happen. Like you're waiting to be inspired, between, and then you're writing in between, but like when those zingers come through and you feel it, you're like, this is fucking magic. I'm going to do this.
Yes, I feel like in my stomach and in my chest a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, great American philosopher Noel Gallagher said, this is true. He was like, he said this, which is bizarre, but because it's so good, but he's like, we're just outside the woods with food waiting for a deer to come.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Oh, that gave me like butterflies.
Yeah.
Because that's really God, there's so much courage in that. And you see that manifest on stage too. You know how like a great comic can like hold a room with silence?
Yes.
Beautifully and confidently.
Yes.
I think that's what that is too, like waiting for the deer. Because you can't receive in like a cluttered space.
Totally. Somebody said that they're like, yeah, well, certainly the thing of like your exterior space represents your inner life. And that like meditating, this is like a Japanese thing, meditating in the same place over and over is continually allowing space to exist within you in order for things to arrive, basically.
Wow.
Eckhart Tolle, he says that that the idea that when Buddhism refers to nothingness, he says his preferred translation is spaciousness.
Yes.
Because we're all we have like our internal lives are so
love space
filled with fucking politics, which are important, but also like Instagram and TikTok and
information, and so much information.
What that's doing is like the deer wants to come out of the woods, but you're fucking screaming at it, so it's not going to come up and get the food. That's
the opiate of the masses. That's the just like drilling like chaos, and so people can't have time or space. It's deflect. It's just like head down into the wind. There's no peaceful state. So that's crazy.
And the people that are like, and this is me too, so I very much relate to this, where like when I first sat down to meditate, it was fucking impossible. Like, I think
scary even.
Super scary. So scary that you don't even let yourself see that it's scary. You sit down and you go, no thanks, and you immediately you're done. Like,
I'll literally do anything.
Yep. And when
I keep myself from doing that,
I was like, I've never not acted compulsively before. That's what I realized. Like how badly I wanted to check the internet was like I described it as like my blood was on fire. It was like, and the thing is that I'm always walking around with those feelings. It's only when I sit down that I start to feel them.
Well, maybe that's why it's occurring to me right now. It's so painful to like sit down and write, because I will clean my house, I'll do my dishes, I'll do anything to keep myself from writing also, same as meditation. But the act of like opening the conduit to sort of do that is beautiful, but it's painful because there's a lot of shit knocking around in there.
Yes.
And it's all your trauma, emotions, et cetera, are attached to it. So it's hard to just get in that space.
Yeah. It's the in Islam, apparently they say there is pain in patience, which I really love, because I kind of thought like I'm not patient, god damn it, you know. And instead of being like, oh yeah, it's hard to be patient because it's painful, and you're totally right. Like the act of writing can be really painful, but in the same way with meditation, like meditation gets so much easier and becomes really, really, really peaceful and nice. Like I truly crave it now, which I'm really grateful for.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I'll sit down and the first like 10-15 minutes my head will be going insane, and it is painful, but then the last 5 minutes are like fucking bliss.
Yeah, it's great.
It's for sure what I was looking for when I was doing Vicodin, you know?
That high.
Without the without the like
the painful addiction.
Right, without the devastating, crippling addiction.
You know, it's interesting too. I think of the same in relationships. Like I have this in my past, part of life, I've been really distracted by people and like helping people or being attracted to like the wrong kinds of people that I thought I could like fill a space for them or whatever. But I was doing that to ignore what I wanted and needed the most. And now it's crazy to like be in my mid 40s and think like, oh my God, I'm just now realizing this about myself, or like figuring out how to be a person.
Yeah, dude, it takes a while.
And that's so crazy. But it also feels really good. Boundaries are great, whatever. But like having space, like having mental space from over askers or over demanders.
There's nobody in your life who's being a vampire to your shit.
No. And that feels really good, but it took so much work and it was so painful to get to this. It's like sitting down for the meditation. It's like, no. I don't want to have these conversations. I don't want to say these things. I don't want to feel whatever this is. But on the other side of it, the peace now that I have in like the mental space, I can show up better for the people that I love. And you were talking about like the comedy community and the shows and the mic or whatever. I think that that's what I love the most about those spaces and those times, is now I can be really present and connect with those folks, like in those moments.
Yes. But, which is, I think, why, and you're kind of like the ship, you're the head of the ship or whatever. So it's like being present in that way sort of trickles down and filters in through the space.
But I used to have like such crazy social anxiety because I was like, get these people away from me. They're asking me for, like, even before, it was like I was anticipating that before anybody even asked anything of me.
Totally.
But being able to protect my own personal time, space, emotional availability, whatever, now it's crazy how easy that comes to me.
Yeah. That's Brene Brown says that thing of people with the most compassion have boundaries of steel.
Absolutely. And I never really understood what that meant. Right. I never understood. And
that's what's so wild about all these like phrasings and stuff is like, hopefully they help you at the beginning of your journey, but they make more sense later, which is kind of unfortunate a little bit.
But I think the lesson repeats as necessary. So you hear it and you're like, oh, something about that is, I don't know, I'll get to that. And then you kind of sort of grow toward it. And then all of a sudden one day it's like, oh my God.
Well, and this is what I was saying to Ashley last night too. Like, the people that are like miss the old days when everything was simple and like they're people have such rose-colored glasses in like their early life and childhood and all this stuff, but I'm like, y'all must not have had much alcoholism in your family. Like, my life has gotten so much better that every single day pretty much is like better than it was, and I'm so great. If I was going to choose like the old days were great and this sucks, or this sucks, or this is great, of course I'm going to choose now.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that like shit is not very, very hard in life. There's so much insane shit going on.
Yeah.
And I can do my part very much to like contribute to the things that I care about, which I care about very deeply and in a very real way.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I believe in Islam, you're not an adult until you're 40.
Really?
I've heard that.
There's beautiful wisdom in that.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I didn't know who, I even at 40, 41, I'm like, oh, this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
How do I get there?
Yeah, totally. And that's why I'm really psyched about like now where I'm at, because I'm able-bodied. I have like my mind is fairly sharp still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I have a certain level of wisdom that can allow me, with help. I still need a lot of help. Like I do recovery shit. I go to therapy. I do like EMDR. I'm on medication. I meditate. The amount of stuff.
Yeah, but I have even knowing you need that stuff to help you be your best self, that's a huge point of growth.
It's yes. It's like a wild gift that how painful my early life was. And like you're saying, noticing the difference now, you have space when before you didn't. Now I understand. I'm so much closer to knowing what peace and joy and self-love actually feels like.
Right.
Then I'm glad that I had the comparison before, because I would take it for granted otherwise.
Absolutely. And you realize you were fighting so much off. Like there's always this like tension or this like clenching of whatever, spirit even.
Yes.
And then getting to that peaceful place is like, oh my God, it feels like Disneyland every single day.
Yes, dude. And I really thought everybody's life was like that, and they're not. Like, there are plenty of people who had those challenges, and those people often, if they've treated them with love, have really deep aspects of character. Like, you can just feel, like, it's soul. People that are soulful, have had, like, challenging experiences. But there's a lot of people who, and I just didn't realize this, who they don't really get challenged until they're like 38, and they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
An instance.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude.
Well, I mean, speaking of comedy, it's like these comics get up there and they're like, we can't say whatever, we can't do. Men say all they want to say about women, and like, oh, women are saying this and that. It's like, well, guess what? Because someone had a thumb on us our whole entire life, and now we've learned a little bit of grace, and we're not,
Yeah, and the whole anti-intellectual tie to, quote, freedom of speech, which is like a constitutional right that they deeply misunderstand. And what's interesting about it is that they are the exact people who are trying to limit other people's freedom, quote unquote, freedom of speech with their bullying behavior.
Right.
And that's the thing with bullies, when you stand up to them, they can't fucking believe it.
Right.
So their only thing they can do is throw tantrums.
This is an example, and it's such a simple example that's such a world view of it. But like on a personal level, I'm going to say this. Speaking of nostalgia, The Goonies is one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, great adventure movie. I loved it. I watch it probably once a month.
That's so often,
if not more often. I'll put it on. I'll just put it on when I'm doing housework, or I just have it on in the background sometimes. I just need it there. I need my friends.
Yeah, you need those Goonies.
I need my pals.
All in the gang, yeah.
And there's someone that once told me that Goonies is the worst movie ever, that they hate that movie, that anyone who likes that movie, knowing full well that it is my favorite movie. And to me, it's like, cool. We both have, for me, like, you can hate the Goonies. That doesn't make, like, it doesn't keep me from loving it so much. But what a wild stance for you to, like, double down, knowing that I love it so much, like, rake it over the coals in such a way. Like, are you trying to convince me that it's a bad movie because you feel so strongly that it's a bad movie? My opinion is, great, I love it, you hate it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else. What kind of candy do you like?
Yeah, any other movie.
What's your favorite candy?
Thing.
Yeah, literally anything. Like, let's move on. But that like doubling down, I think is what you're just saying. Like, no, but I can say this, but you can't say that because I disagree with it, and I'm going to double down on my disagreement.
Yeah,
see what I mean?
Extremely only child, well attended for my entire childhood position to take.
Right. My thought and opinion is the only one that is valid.
Yeah, or like mine is the loudest.
Is the loudest.
It's gonna be, which is again getting back to why we need so many. That's why if I see somebody at the mic who's like clearly neuroatypical, and I am too. That's what I'm saying. Or is like a woman or non-binary or whatever. I'm like, will you like this? Please keep doing this.
Yeah.
And maybe come over here because we have people here who will like support you through this stuff. Like,
you belong here.
And that's what I say too. I'm like, oh man, who's okay? My friends that run Laughing Gas, Rod Maximo and Claire and Grant. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're so, all of them, they're amazing. They're so great. And this is what I was saying. And they're younger people, and they've got like a sketch group going and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, here's the thing. Comedy needs you guys.
Yeah.
You may not need comedy. Like, the life of doing comedy is a soldier's journey. It takes, I believe, like a huge amount of, in America, like in the way things are as far as like how to survive and make money, it is an incredibly courageous thing. So like this actually might not be great for you guys because there's going to be a lot of challenges if you don't have a trust fund.
Right.
Hopefully all of you, whatever. Somebody's got a credit card, hopefully, but comedy needs you.
Yeah.
So you're doing a favor to
but
this
even
art
that,
form.
Even the trust fund thing, like I know that's a joke, but you have to be so hungry for it. You have to fight for it. You have to, like the idea of like having a cushy like blanket, whatever. You can have one foot out the door. You have to want it so badly. Not that I want everyone to be in like dire straits and like, broke and hurting.
Yeah.
But just to like comment on that, because you can't do it casually. I mean, you can, but I think like, man, you have to like wake up every morning with this burning desire to make people laugh and to be funny, and you have to love comedy so much. Like I don't know. It's not that I'm saying like this is me saying like you're wrong on that. Like just like I said.
No. And I'm with you. Like I just don't. There's nothing else that I want or could really do, which is why it's been so interesting that I'm learning how to work on cars, because I really spent my entire life, I'm like, I'm gonna have no backup plan intentionally. Yeah. So I will force myself to only do this. So I developed I got no other skills. Like none. You know? And so I think, and for that and a variety of other reasons, I thought that I was like incompetent. And that has affected my sense of confidence my whole life, I think.
But you set yourself up to want it so badly.
Yeah, I just can't stop.
You did.
And that's why. That's what I say to people who are like, you look so young. I'm like, yeah, I followed my heart. My whole life.
That's beautiful.
And it led me down some fucking... Because sometimes my heart was like, drink a bunch of whiskey, even though it's 2 p.m. And I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Get you in trouble.
It can be bad. So now I'm teaching myself
Follow my heart.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
That's the fucking skincare routine.
Yeah.
You know?
Joy.
Yeah.
Peace.
And there's some part of you that knows. There's some part of you that knows, and a bunch of other shit comes in sideways, whether it's like what you think society's opinion is, what you think your parents' opinion is, what you think your friends' opinions is, that all that shit is mud on the lens. And when you clear that off, then you can see. And my career, you know, all the careers, they're fucking really, really up and down. So like that is, I was working at a pizza place one time. I was 30. The guy comes in. He goes, "What do you do?" I was like, I was working the register. I was like, "Comedy." He's like, "Woof, that's a hard gig." And I was like, I think working in a law firm is a hard gig. Actually,
absolutely.
Because I did that shit.
I used to work in an ad agency right out of college, and I was like a proofreader, copywriter, you know, assistant or whatever. I would sit at my desk. We worked on the 23rd floor, I think, and I would sit at my desk and I would like watch all the other people driving home and like going to the mall, which was like right there that I could see. And I was like, I want to jump out this freaking window. There was no amount, like I couldn't force myself to stay at a desk like that, or there was so much more. I always this is so silly, but I always relate to Belle so much in Beauty and the Beast, when she runs to the edge of that cliff, you know, and she's singing, "I want to wander in the great light." There's like so much more out there in the world that she wants to know and see. Yeah. I could not relate more to that, like my entire life. Growing up in Oklahoma and like having the desires that I had to like perform or do comedy or what that I could see. I grew up watching SNL when I was like 8-9 years old. And of course I love Toon Sister Driving Cat the most because
I love Toon Sister. Highly underrated sketch. Wonderful for all ages.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just run off a cliff every single time.
Yeah. Was it always Phil Hartman?
It was Dana Carvey and Victoria Jackson.
Oh really? Okay. I don't know, it was her. I thought it was like Jan Hooks or something.
No, it was Victoria Jackson and Princess, look out!
Look out!
And then this crazy puppet cat. Oh my God. But yeah, like I knew what it was. And I was like, whatever that is, that's the thing. I have to. But I took so many off-ramps. I tried every single thing early on. Right. But like you're saying, it's like, I would rather live in a studio apartment and be living my dream every single day than just feeling like I'm in that car. Yeah. Driving down the cliff.
Oh, I now I understand where the metaphor is coming in. Yeah, you're in the back seat.
I just wrapped that one up. I didn't intend to go that way, but
look, let me out at this fucking comedy club.
Look out. No, but really though, like it's the way to stay young, I think. It's not without its frustrations, of course. Like it's torturous in its own way. Yeah. Every single day.
I really believe that it is comedy's main job is to teach me how to be kind to myself. Yeah. Which is a lesson I was going to need to learn in this life, and I'm still learning it. This is also related to what I was going to say too, which is that things are so different now that you really can do all this from your bedroom. Which is really, really interesting and strange and beautiful. Now, what happens sometimes is then you get in front of a live crowd and you don't know what to do. That's an entirely separate situation. Yeah. But all of that is sort of changed in this beautiful, miraculous way that you're more aware that the option is there. I didn't start doing comedy until I was 21 because the only performance I'd seen in front of me was like my bad high school's production of Guys and Dolls, where like these 13-year-olds that I knew were like in oversized suits. I was like, I hate all performance. You know,
little tiny gangsters.
Yeah, if I would have seen like live comedy in front of me, I would have been like. So now when you're on your phone, you're like, oh yeah, everybody across America is just being fucking hilarious, like in their kitchen. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, actually. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to say about that.
I do think there is something to the art form, though, like you said, of like being in front of an audience. Because like we were talking about before, you got to take the temp in the room. Totally. And you got to figure out, and we're constantly processing, like our synapses are firing like, I can't even fathom like how fast it goes, because we're like taking in this information and this person over here and that person, are they laughing or are they listening? Or, you know, like you're assessing, am I in danger? Is this fun?
Yeah.
Constantly. And so that overdrive of like your nervous system, you can't get when you're just talking to your phone.
No. And I know every kind of laugh. I know I get that was a joke laugh. And then I know the laugh that is like, oh, we can't stop laugh. We can't help it. We can't stop.
Absolutely.
I call it the funny hump when you get when the audience feels comfortable laughing in front of each other. That's a big thing.
Right.
Because they're all nervous too. So they want them making a sound like laughter. You'll see people at comedy shows holding their hands
They'll
over
be
their
self-conscious.
mouth. Yeah. Because the crowd's not laughing and they feel weird about it. It happens all the time.
They don't want to be the only ones.
Yeah, that's why, like, I don't know.
That happens to me at mics.
Yeah.
I'll be the one laughing and be like, what is wrong? Like, nobody wants to laugh at a mic or whatever, you know, but like, come on, these are jokes. This is what we're doing.
It's so funny to me that we work so hard to construct a joke, dedicate our whole lives to it, go say it to someone, and they just straight have no change in their expression.
Cool. This is just my heart and soul and all of my dreams
to a constructed joke, like nothing. It's so funny. That's why I always say, I'm like, that's why open mics are always better. The more women, the better the mic, and it's because women know how dangerous it is not to laugh at men.
I love it when you say that. That is my favorite thing you've ever said.
Yep.
Because that's so true.
Yeah, man.
And that is so real.
And I'm scared of men too, so I also do it. I'm like, it's okay. Don't get mad at us. We don't feel shame right now.
Don't kill me.
Yeah. We know how dangerous it is if you feel rejected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
And so now we were talking about this with the social media thing. I'm doing the other end of it where I'm trying to get more comfortable posting vulnerable shit on social media.
Right, to be just seen.
Yep, because that's not my first language, whereas if I was younger it would be.
Right.
You know, but it's very much a part of the career. Like, you absolutely... It's a tool that is both like, you know, it's a fucking gift and a curse, man.
I will post and ghost. Like I'll like really put something out there and then just be like, oh God. And I have to like, I call it hedgehogging, and I have to just like put up my little hoodie and just like hunker down for a week or two, because it's so vulnerable.
It feels like it, right?
Well, you're like, hello world, I'm here and I'm naked. To us
it does, but to other people it feels like texting.
They don't give a shit. No. Then they're just scrolling. They're like, I don't know, whatever.
Which is more, because it really truly doesn't matter. And that's where, you know, my theory, I think that like, what I don't like about stand-up on Instagram is that it makes it disposable. But what's interesting about that is that you can put things out and be less precious and less, they don't have to be perfect at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just fucking a silly joke. That you filmed in your backyard with your idiot buddy.
Right. And getting people to, I talked to like a Gen Z influencer, and this is how he put it so astutely. He said, you want people to fuck with you? Then you just got, if you want people to fuck with you.
I do want people
to fuck with me.
That's the thing. All the internet has really done is made it easier for white people to steal slang from drag queens and black people.
That's absolutely true.
You know what I mean? Like all the like Gen Alpha stuff, it's just fucking just stealing it from rap. Like,
yep.
You know?
That's true. That is that vernacular.
And it's fucking embarrassing because they don't understand about like cultural appropriation. So that shit's just out the window entirely.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just a bunch of whatever white people being like, slay queen. You're like, you sound awful.
I do have to pause because you have this poppet hamburger in your hand and you just held it to your mouth like you were going to take a bite of an actual hamburger.
Damn, let's see, can we post a picture of it? Because it's hard to describe, but you know those things, it's like a stress thing that you pop the bubbles on, but it's shaped and colored like a hamburger.
Yeah, so it's like got the layers of, you were just about to take a bite of that juicy hamburger.
That would have been psycho if I would have bit off this rubber hamburger, never mentioned it, then you had to maintain composure for the rest of the podcast.
You're just chewing on rubber.
And swallow.
Wow, you are eating that. Okay, cool. To each his own.
Oh, Mort's having a full psychotic break on this episode of Rebrand. So let's rebrand a little bit.
What are we rebranding?
Yeah, because I love the shows that you're doing. Last night it was pretty underattended. It's very hard in LA to get
that's generous to say pretty underattended. We had 0 audience members. 0.
That one person showed up.
Well, she was a comic.
She's a comic. Totally.
We had actually 2 quote audience members, and they were both comics.
Yeah. Now, first of all, it's hard to get people out in LA to shows. It's not a theater town. They could go up the street and see the most famous comedians in the world. Right? But I think it's a bummer because there are so many talented comics doing such like strong, new, I think risky shit that could go either way. To me, it's like a much more interesting experience to see like maybe a little bit younger people try stuff that is, it's a little bit of a risk. You don't know these people's names, but you're taking the risk that you might see something new you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Or they might become your new favorite comic. Kelly Farmer murdered last night.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, but just the whole lineup. I was so stoked about the lineup. And I was so happy to have you drop in and Jason drop in and Karen Haber, just legend. And
Karen
she's so funny.
Unbelievable.
She said, "You always say I'm a legend." And I was like, yeah, because what? You did Arsenio Hall, Joan Rivers.
Yes. I think she was the first stand-up on Arsenio Hall.
She was a first stand-up. And I've seen the tape. Her kid came to one of the mics that we had. They live in New York, but they came to one of the mics.
You met her kids?
Yeah.
Are they like little versions of her?
No, not at all.
Okay.
She has this non-binary kid named Lily. Very just like cool, like Brooklyn type. It's just so...
Because Karen was cool as shit.
The coolest. And Lily actually had a tape of Karen like in her entrance on I think it was Arsenio Hall. It was some Tonight Show.
Whoa.
And Karen had on, it was like the 80s. Karen had on this like sequin, like sweetheart neckline and taffeta dress with like Chuck Taylor's.
Whoa.
The coolest and like curly.
What's taffeta?
Taffeta is like that, like ballerina tutus or like it's kind of that kind of like
interesting,
wispy.
Whoa.
Like.
So she was like pre-grunging it.
Oh my gosh, she was like totally like Madonna-esque with like this curly, crazy hair.
Because she was cool because Arsenio was cool.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, she was like cutting at the time, like, and it still had a very adorable voice. And like, oh my gosh. And anyway, but she wouldn't even let us watch it. She's like, that's enough. Like, has this thing where I'm like,
on her phone or something?
Lily showed me, like, just like
Lily,
that.
right.
It was like, I have this. Do you guys want to see? And I was like, I will eat up anything because she won't let anybody see that part of her.
So Karen, she's been doing stand up again for 3.5 years. She did it for 10 years in the 80s, and she had this career.
Fabulous career.
Absolutely. And you see, she sounds like this. So when you see her, and that is a perfect impression, she immediately just, this is a fully formed comic.
Absolutely.
Just as soon as her fucking voice
knows exactly how to, and will hold space, like I was talking about, like is not afraid of silence and like a moment and a beat. And just holds the room on the edge of their seats and then just drops the like craziest bomb of a punchline.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm going to rebrand it like this. Do your due diligence to find out where the interesting, weird artists are doing alternative comedy in your scene or in Los Angeles. And go see that. Go to like the LGBT shows. Go to the non-binary shows. Go to the strange places because I'm telling you, it's gonna start popping off. Like I really believe that about LA. It's a little bit like Chicago where stuff will get log jammed out there because there's so many great performers. Yeah. But what that happens is there's this bubbling undercurrent of it's why like oh shit they can come through and pick up A.D. Bryant even though nobody knew really who because she was below. I did shows there, but she was below us, right?
Oh wow!
So it's like all these people are bubbling under the surface. There's a lot of those people right now in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
I really see with you and what you do a thing where with a little bit more like power and a little bit less St. Louis insecurity and a little more confidence, it could coalesce into something extremely powerful.
Wow, yeah.
Because it's all good art grows from community.
Thank you for saying that because I think that there's the community is everything.
Yeah.
Because it keeps people in the game. It keeps people sharp and like wanting to do this. When you say that there's like this log jam, I think there is sort of a log jam too. This pathway of like getting into the clubs or whatever, like there's such an allure to that idea. But some people burn out on that path. And then they're sort of in this indie scene, thriving in their own way and like telling amazing jokes, having discovering themselves in such a way that's like absolutely beautiful to see.
Yeah.
But no one's going to see them because of the oversaturation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want there to be just more spaces for that, and like for people to really believe in the power of the community aspect of it.
Well, and always what happens is because things become like monopolized by a certain type of voice that is really supported by Western capitalist society, they do eventually get sick of it. Like you saw, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the 80s, there's always this like conservative backlash of like media and these like really loud, obnoxious, quote unquote edgy, but actually just like old school racist artists.
Yeah.
Quote unquote artists, right? But the people get sick of that. And so then what happens is then there's a resurgence of the people who are, I would say, more like indebted to their own original voice that comes from their heart and their fucking dreams or whatever.
I mean, look at Maria Bamford. Like, how is it possible that she can exist in a world of comedy like that, you know, and then comes out with just this like earnest, this is who I am. Like, I'm a delicate weirdo, you know, like.
And a master, like
genius,
unrivaled master of comedy. She's like Dylan, because when I first heard her, I had to like get over the sound of her voice because it's for whatever reason. And then once you get into the work, you're like, oh, there's like unending depth here. And she was so
absolutely
obviously like talking about mental health shit, like way
important, way before anybody was.
Way before.
Because that's just like a necessary for her. It was like, I just have to talk about this. This is who I am.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like these places where you can speak about who you are from an authentic place, as opposed to like, okay, I need to make 70 tourists laugh. So I got to do 20 minutes on French fries. And look, I love a
been
nacho
there,
joke.
done that. Yeah.
There are so many gifted fucking
dogs. Am I right?
Working, but like the clubs have plenty of really talented people. I'm not saying that.
Absolutely.
All those people, so many of those people are wonderful. And I really do love I have a deep respect for the courage of all comedians, but they're not the only thing that people should be paying attention to by any means.
Right. Yep. There are so many other alt voices that, and also people who are like, hey, listen, I exist. All right. I have things that I want to talk about too. Trans comics, non-binary comics, women. Imagine that idea. Women.
Even women.
Yeah. Even
hold
women.
Microphones sometimes.
But just like, yes, I might identify with this particular group, but like I have a human experience just like anyone else. And this is my perspective. And it's the idea of like living in a big city and having, diversity right in front of you, as opposed to a tiny small town where you're like closed off from the rest of the world. It's educating yourself, or at least allowing yourself to hear the perspective of another human being that's not exactly like you.
Yeah, right. Totally. Staying open to it. And I think the loud voices are the ones that are so closed-minded, but I just sort of have to believe that there's a lot of people who are like slowly and steadily being, just becoming more and more open to the reality of like, there's just 1 billion different kinds of people out there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
There just absolutely are,
Man, I just, first of all, I love talking comedy, and I'm so obsessed with the art of it all, and my contentious relationship with it.
Yeah, oh, yes. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we're talking about, like, waking up every day, and it feels like Disneyland, but it also feels like loving something so much, there's so much risk involved. You know what I mean? Like putting your heart out there and really putting it all on the line feels super vulnerable.
And I think that's why so many people don't do, like, we have a friend who didn't do stand-up for so long because she saw Andrew Dice Clay and was like, I guess stand-up is not for me, which is just how the human brain works.
Right.
And they are a wonderful comedian.
Yeah.
And so especially now with the proliferation of the internet, it's you can do the digging from your couch. So don't be afraid. Go beyond the stuff that is being pushed to you that seems like loud and is like, hey, they're still doing fucking Asians can't drive jokes, which is stunning.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? Like, So when you see that shit, you might be like, I guess stand-up is bad. It's not.
No, it's not.
No.
And also I'm obsessed with sort of like digging into people's paths to success. Like, how did they get to where they were? And a lot of times it's like, well, I didn't get casted. I didn't make it onto a UCB Herald team, and so I did this, or I didn't get in a ground. Like Fortune Feimster talks about, like, you know, her experience with the Groundlings or whatever, and like then auditioning for SNL and not getting SNL, and like she's just so massively successful now. Mm-hmm. And actually, was talking about like, somebody was like, what if you got offered SNL today? And she was like, no, I make so much money touring. It's crazy. I would much rather be doing this. But I thought that was my dream, you know, like just seeing the path. And like, as long as I always feel like I'm sort of competing with myself as far as like, I want to be the best writer I can possibly be. I want to be able to tell the funniest jokes I can possibly tell. So as long as I'm staying true to that, wherever the road leads is kind of none of my business, right? Because then you follow the doors that open. And like, okay, if I'm not over here in this club, they're not paying any attention to me, then what's going on over here? Like this indie scene, these other shows, like these people seem really welcoming. Like you got to find, it can't be hard all the time.
Yes, totally. And in what places are you making it harder on yourself? Like, I'm really trying to do that, to really trust what feels good, because it's a very different voice than the voice of like, oh, I should do this for my career. Yeah. You know? And the voice that is like, this actually feels good and expansive is like an important part. That's what I was saying to this friend of ours, where I was like, yeah, when you study painting, you don't have to like go hang out with these fucking lunatic, violent degenerates to like learn how to make, you know what I mean?
Cut off your own ear. You have to cut off your ear. No, I don't want to cut off my ear. You know, if you want to be a good painter, you have to cut off your ear. I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't want to cut off,
you know. Eat paint until you go schizophrenic and cut your ear off. Yeah, complete. No, it's so true, because it's like what happens in fraternities, where it's like, my life was hell on earth, so now I'm going to make everybody else below me's life hell on earth, which is the exact same way like abuses of all kinds happen.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be like that. I really do believe you get farther by being like generous and cool and fucking supportive. Capitalism turns us into this embarrassing delusion that there's only one spot.
Right. And there's room for everybody, because everybody's going to do a different thing anyway. Yeah. Really, ultimately.
Totally. It's really corny. And it's like, and it comes from insecurity. It's like, if you really believe in your shit, then you're not going to be that worried about what other people are doing. And we all go through phases of worrying about it. Yeah. But I know when I'm like doing well, and by that I mean like you said, being in competition with myself, as far as, because I've dealt a ton with feeling despondent after shows. Yeah. You know? Yeah, sure. And what I realize is that I really am, I'm happy if I performed well for me. If that crowd was a 3 and I got a 3.5 out of them, I feel all right. Mm-hmm. And the only way I can do that is by paying a lot of attention to my energy throughout the day, because I realize that my energy dictates my mood, and my mood dictates everything. Yeah. So absolutely. So it's really just like teaching me more. My art is teaching me more and more about myself, which is like, basically that's like what monks do. They're just trying to figure out more about themselves.
Yes, and that's when I think it really comes back to spirituality again, because it's a mirror that we're constantly holding to ourselves. This process of doing comedy, this art of comedy, we are constantly thinking about ourselves. Yeah. But in a self-reflective way, in I think a really great way that helps us not only grow as human beings, but also help each other and give each other like grace when we see like, okay, maybe that wasn't your best show, but I know you're brilliantly talented, and like tomorrow's a new day. Yep. If I can give someone that pass, I can give myself that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I see it all the time. And don't people always say like, why don't you talk to yourself like you would talk to one of your best friends? Mm-hmm. So that self-talk needs to be, because I'm a victim of it too. Like, I'll drive home and just be like, well, I guess that's the end of comedy for me.
Yeah. I'm going to tune this up. This bridge right now.
Yeah, exactly. This Outwater bridge. No, but you have to, it's just a constant, like, get back on the road. Just get back on the road. Just keep driving, even though you don't need to make any decisions right now about the end of all of this.
Yeah. But for me, I really love this idea of making the other voices louder. So today, because I'm trying to post more on social media, and I have this thing, which follow at Mort Burke on Instagram. I'm killing it. This is all an act. I don't actually have anxiety.
Just a plug
around this.
It's just a plug.
It's just to make me more appealing and seem more human or whatever. But I really, there's this part of me that gets obsessed before and after I post, and I'm sure I'm not alone, but it's this painful thing that is like, look again, get obsessed, see if there's any likes, and I haven't been looking, I haven't been doing that. So today I was able to, like, while I'm walking the sweet boy Cody, identify that voice and be like, hey, of course you want to be successful. It's okay. Because I think before I would be like, this feeling is so hard, get it the fuck away from me.
Whoa.
I want to even through spirituality, talk myself out of feeling these feelings.
Oh my God. What a beautiful, it's okay to want to be successful.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. But we talk ourselves in and out of it so much because the risk is so high.
Yeah, and I think I learned to be small.
Right.
Despite living my whole life, this thing of like, I was just determined not to have a boring, sad life. Right. Determined.
Absolutely. The most adventurous, the most interesting, the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you are.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's unreal, the shit that I've experienced.
And so it's already happened. It's already happened. It's already happening. It will happen again.
Yes.
It continues.
I have a beautiful wife. I live in Los Angeles. Like, I'm so grateful and psyched.
Right. And to say that out loud, I think is so beautiful. To say it's okay to want to be successful. It's okay to want to have this success. It's okay to want all of these things, because that acceptance, man, is such a like open door to, like, I'm gonna get all woo woo, but like the universe giving the gifts, because it's not just like a blatant, like, it's gonna happen. The work is behind it. Mm-hmm. You're still doing the work. You're on the path. You're doing all the things. You're talking to me all the time about, like, I'm editing the podcast, even, like, I'm doing all this, and like just the amount of work that we're always doing.
I work my ass off.
I work my ass off too. And I think it's okay to say that out loud.
Yeah.
It's okay because there's this like false humility. You come from St. Louis, I come from Oklahoma. There's this like, oh yeah, but I'm like, I can't accept a compliment. I'm a piece of shit. I'm really though, because you don't want anyone else to feel threatened. And it's not about like this grandiose idea of like inflation of self. It's about giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be successful in whatever way you want to be successful in this artistic path, you have to work hard. So you have to acknowledge that you are working hard, and then the door is open and you're prepared and you're ready.
Yeah. And I always come back to comedy too, because it's like, I want that for everyone who loves it as much as I do.
Yeah.
Which is to say I would say probably everyone that is doing it, which is to say, again, like, the more people who love it and are experiencing exposure, the better it is for the work.
Right.
Because it's the same, there's this collective unconscious thing. Like, there was a period in skateboarding where people couldn't ollie. Now people can ollie cars. You know what I mean? Like, that was not possible until everybody, the Jungian collective psychology thing, they apparently, this is true with like apes and shit. One ape will learn things, and enough of them learn it, then all of a sudden across the fucking globe.
Sure. This is the bar now. This is what we're doing now.
Other monkeys know how to do it.
That's insane.
There's this strange thing that happens. So it's like, that's interesting too, watching these young comics. It's like, everybody's so good so fast now, because it's just in our DNA, in the same way that everybody's like performing for their phones. So everybody feels pretty authentic in a lot of ways. It's as a person who, like, the reason I love that, like, David Cross shit and that Garofalo shit was like, they were really, really, they felt to me very opposed to inauthenticity.
Right.
Like, you never wanted to feel like you were telling like a fucking joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, like, because it just, it feels condescending or something, or like it feels manipulative, Right. And I think the more young people are doing it, and the more like there's just less and less of that.
Yeah. I do think it's the young people, but I also think it's like everybody at every level, because we're talking about just people that we saw last night, and we're in our mid 40s. You know, I don't know how old Karen is, and I don't need to know, but she's been around for a long time and has a lot of wisdom to carry too. And a lot of people, I see a lot of older comics. I did a show at the Mix the other night, and this older comic Cole, I don't know if you know.
Oh, I love Cole. Yeah,
he's
Cole Young.
It's just beautiful. Like I absolutely love,
dude, he is beautiful.
Seeing that. And he came over and shook my hand. I hadn't met him before, and he came over and shook my hand. He was just darling and just gentle and like, hey, you guys going out after this?
Yeah, and he crushes too. Like,
oh, so funny.
Yeah, and he really, because I think he.
But that's also, there's no air. There's no air put on. He's so real. That's what I think you're getting out of this, like, authenticity.
Yeah. And I think he didn't just start doing stand-up until he was older. He talks about it, right? And I think that that sort of radiance that he has, which is kind of rare coming out of like an older white guy.
Sure.
I've seen it before. I've seen it in recovery. I'll see that. I'll see people who have like turned their lives around and have this like sort of radiant beauty. But I think that really is because he's like fully living his dream that he probably, I'm sure when he was younger, he didn't, I shouldn't tell the story or whatever, but there was probably part of him that wanted to do it and thought he couldn't or didn't for some reason.
Well,
and now he's like glowing because he's doing it.
That's the machine. I think that from my personal experience, I was so shy in high school. I was so like painfully self-conscious that and all my friends were in theater. We were all in choir together and stuff, but I would go to the musical auditions, and I was so scared to audition that I wouldn't. I would sit in the back and watch everybody else audition, and then I would watch them, and I would go to the plays. But I had this like sick feeling in my gut that like, I know I could do that if I could just do that. But it held me back for so many years that finally when I went to college, I had this like, I'm just going to do it. Nobody here knows me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't had that experience of, every time I get afraid to do a showcase or go to a thing or do a show or whatever, I always think of that 16-year-old me in the back of the room that had to overcome that. That's what keeps me getting on stage.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have that, that's a huge gift, because if I didn't have that, that's the engine. That's what, and like you're saying about Cole, like who knows? Who knows what the motivator is?
That's right.
But it's like you have to do it because of what you've overcome.
It's interesting not being able to do it too, because for a period that I see that with skateboarders too, there were a lot of professional skateboarders. They had a period where they weren't allowed to skateboard. Their parents took their board away. They lost it. They couldn't afford one. So I think there's this like time of growth and desire that happens.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. There's these experiences like what is the worst time in your life actually can become like deeply important for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Same thing. Like I didn't see I was funny with my friends, which was like the most important thing in my life to me, but I didn't have an outlet for it. And then I saw an improv show that my sister took me to that was really good, and I was like,
that's it.
And then I took classes at then I came back to St. Louis to classes at City Improv, and it was the first time ever in my life that somebody was like, hey, you're really good at this.
Yep.
Like they
lit the fire.
God bless Ryan Lee. This dude, he was like fish to water, man. That's what he said, and I was like, fucking dude, it makes me emotional. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I love it.
Thank you so much for saying that. And that's the kind of effect that you can have on people when you are open to them and generous with them about their work.
That's why anytime I've seen new comics come in and like, I mean, we know so many people that have come through and like, this is my first time doing, and it's like, yes, please keep doing this. You have to do this. You have a gift for it. Whatever it means to you, come back.
Yep.
Do it again. Get on a show.
The thing that sometimes the people that are really, really good at it right away will kind of take it for granted a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens too.
Yeah. So it's you never know.
Yeah.
And also it's never over. Like there's never, I love that about this whole thing, is like it's not over until I'm on the ground, baby. You know,
absolutely.
Like, it's not being like
just
an
gonna
NFL
Betty
player.
White this shit to all the way to 100 and beyond.
Yeah, it's not like, all right, you're 26, you're aged out. I mean, maybe like Hollywood, but not actual comedy.
Doesn't matter.
You know, and even that stuff can change, man. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. There's such a narrative right now, like this. I love Julie Louis-Dreyfus because she has this podcast called Wiser Than Me. She talks to older women in like their 70s and 80s and just like what they're like big time, like Julie Andrews or, whoever. And they have so much wisdom to share. and just such an example of just like just killing it despite all odds, you know, people who told them they weren't going to do this, that, and whatever past the age of 40.
Yeah.
And it's just, like we're saying, it's just beginning. And that's the power that I think, oh, big sigh from this boy. Yeah, big sigh. He's like, I'm 40. What was I even saying?
Well, and to me, there's this beautiful, I like the Fiona Apple song, Extraordinary Machine, you know, which there's ways to take this like pressure from society that is totally arbitrary but feels so concrete and real, and in some ways is socially, and to alchemize it, not through spite. Sometimes there's some spite in there that can be the engine, but also with a form of like, there has to be an element of like self-embracing to be able to put it out as an energy, to be like, yeah, and also like, you're not going to stop me. And that's what I say too. It's like, to me, it almost doesn't matter. If I fucking just like doodled once a day, that would be okay too. Like, as long as
I did some crafting. I love doing some crafting from time to time.
Ah, you'll craft. Yeah. What kind of stuff you craft?
Actually, right now, the thing that I'm crafting is the trophy for 7 Minutes in Heaven, the Grand Slam trophy. Because, you know, there's this idea that people recently started that they wanted to compete in all 4 categories.
Oh, that's right. Because the mic, there's storytelling, singing,
music in general.
Yeah.
Storytelling and poetry is one column, and then character clown is another.
Yeah, it's our EGOT.
And then stand-up.
So, damn. Okay, so I've done poetry.
Oh, yeah.
I've done stand-up. I don't know if I've done storytelling.
You gotta do some music.
Yeah, I gotta do music and clowning.
And clown or character. It could be a sketch, like a written sketch.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll come with Zach and we'll do a sketch.
Oh, yeah, you gotta. Because this is...
Yeah, I gotta do that.
I'm making the little trophy, and it's a figure. He's gonna be a clown. I bought a little tiny miniature rainbow clown wig for this little guy. And then he's holding a poetry book, has a guitar around his neck, and there's a stand-up mic, and a little tiny accordion just to give homage to our friend Jen Liv, who does the accordion. And and then I'll just like write the names and like cross it out and like who's the current Grand Slam holder.
Oh, and then it's gonna get passed around.
And then I'll just like be like,
Stanley Cup.
You're the Grand Slam.
Oh, so that's so cool.
That's what I'm crafting
Who do you
right now.
Who get first?
Well, Joel Anderson got the first one.
He did. Okay, damn, he gets the trophy first.
But then Jen Liv came in and did it all in one performance.
Hold on.
She did poetry, she did music, she did a character, and she did stand-up.
Okay, but hold on. Not to be a gatekeeper here, but I feel like you should have to do 7 minutes of poetry, 7 minutes of character, 7 minutes.
Well, Joel did that. He did like one week at a time. He built up to that, and that's how we knew that even existed. Because he's like, guess what? I'm the first Grand Slam winner.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Damn, that's huge.
So I was like, I had to make this trophy. We have to make this.
When do you know when you're premiering it? When you're making the official...
I'm making it. So I might, maybe this coming Friday, because I'll make it this weekend.
Damn, if you're listening, this will come out, this will come out Wednesday, so you have time to make it to 7 minutes in heaven.
But make it a goal, like if this is going to be like, I'm going to do, well, for you or for anybody else.
Oh, I totally want to.
Do this category, then this category. I mean, it's great. It's really fun. That's why it exists, because it's just like... Yes, we're getting reps. We're having fun.
I did musicals in Chicago. Like, I have a pretty good singing voice, but music is so vulnerable.
So scary.
So scary.
I don't get like shaky nervous doing stand-up. When I have been a singer all of my life, literally since I was 2 years old. I still shake, like quiver when I have to sing. And you were there when Michael and I got to sing together.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was one of the first times that I felt like, actually, I was like, oh, my friend is with me. Great. I don't have to be so scared.
See, that's the thing. You and I, that's why I like podcasting, too. We like collaborative shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like to have a buddy.
Yeah, man.
But you got to be the Grand Slam.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're halfway there.
Yeah, I'm nearly there. What's funny is I think the clowning will be the hardest to figure out how to do that.
But do a sketch with Zach or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have a thing now. Ashley's been playing piano, and like she has an incredible singing voice. Ashley's voice I've never experienced this before. It makes me cry when she sings.
That's beautiful.
I have to act.
Then she's an angel.
I don't cry every time.
She's a living angel.
It's crazy. There's some part her soul pulls grief out of me that needs to be removed. Kind of a thing.
So beautiful.
So, but we sing together now, which is fun. She's playing piano stuff, and
I love that.
I get my voice is lower than it used to be. I used to be able to belt pretty fucking high. So I need to learn how to settle into my lower register now, which is
sure.
So I get nervous even more so now when I sing, but I'll do it.
Speaking of that, I think that's a good, it's a good playtime activity. There's sometimes that I'm at home and I'm just I just want to sing through a song on my piano just so I can feel the feeling in my body of this joy that this thing brings me.
Dude,
that's play.
So important. That's such a good point because the capitalism thing, it commodifies everything.
Right.
So what happens is that
what if we just did things for fun?
Oh, it's so important.
And nobody saw it or cared or whatever, and it's just for you. It's to fill the bucket.
That's how children were, and that's one of the reasons you must be a child to enter the kingdom of heaven.
That's why we look at these kids and we're these comedians that are coming up, whatever. But the thing that I think sets them apart is they don't have that fear yet, or that I shouldn't do this because life has told them otherwise. They're just oh sure, I guess, yeah. They just fling their bodies around and there's no inhibition.
Yep. And they keep me not bitter, which is cool. I always feel I want to be a good, a sweet elder statesman. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be the dude. Some people get off on people being afraid of them and shit.
Yeah, no.
I mean, a little I want some fearful respect, but for the most part, you know what I mean? I just want to be dude, let's talk about this.
You don't want to be a doormat. You don't want to be a doormat, but sure. Yeah, you want to be an usher of joy.
Yeah, to be you can fucking do this because it's I love it. I've always saved my life watching Chris Elliott and stuff. And there's so much shit that I loved so deeply, but it's fucking anti-fascist. It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. It's so it's punk rock, like you said before.
Yeah. All right. Cody,
big stretch from Cody. I guess that's all we've got to say.
Podcast done. Danna Weddle, thank you so much for joining us. Where can the people find you?
At Danna Weddle on Instagram. I do shows once a month. Come see me at 7 Minutes in Heaven. I have these silly commercials on TV, so you'll probably see me from time to time. Trying to get you to get extended warranties on your cars.
Hell yeah. They're doing God's work. Let's get these cars insured good. You can find us at Rebrand the Pod on Instagram. We also have a Patreon for just a measly, shitty little $5 a month. You get access to the Discord where you can ask Ashley and I questions. Usually monthly we'll do a hangout. There's also varying tiers where you can pay more to get more. You also get ad-free episodes and unreleased content like video episodes and stuff. So if you're so inclined, do that. Also, tell all of your friends about how great this podcast is. The quality of this podcast is so insane. It's so high and we do such beautiful work. And I just don't see a world in which we don't explode. So get in on the ground.
This is Mort not tooting his own horn.
Toot, toot, fly, fly. Tell your friends so you guys are on the ground floor. And write us some glowing reviews. And have a beautiful day where you experience peace and joy. And talk to trees because they're listening. And the sunlight is there to calm you. And fight for what you love. But also, you don't have to fight. We're all good. Rebrand.